Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Toby. Welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome. I'm going to give a big shout out to my day ones for the past 6 years, my subscribers, my listeners. I appreciate people who talk about this podcast, who share this podcast, who support this podcast, who write reviews for this podcast. Really appreciate all your support. I've been doing this for 6 years. I've been giving it away for free. So many people ask me why I don't film it, why I don't monetize on YouTube, why don't I charge people for it on Patreon? And their answer is because I don't want to. I love these conversations in my kitchen. I love the honesty. I love that people want to come back for 2 or 3 episodes, the reoccurring guests that I have all the time. I love it. No lights, no cameras. I myself do not like going on podcasts that are being filmed and have lights. I've done it a couple times. I'll probably never do it again. I don't feel like myself in those situations. So I want all my guests to be as comfortable as possible. I do have sponsors. The sponsors keep my shit going. They keep it alive. But I will never interrupt a conversation with an ad in the middle of it. People do that all the time, and I will never interrupt the flow of a conversation. So don't worry about that. But I do have amazing sponsors who I align myself with, who the products that I use on a daily basis. I've turned down so much money for sponsors that want to be part of this podcast with companies I've never tried or didn't align with. I'm very picky about who I have on my sponsors and have on this podcast. That being said, check out the sponsors. Joe, cue up the music. Since 1987, Rockabilia has been around doing officially licensed merch. No bootlegs from all the artists that I freaking love, from pop to hip hop to rock to hardcore to punk. Over 500,000 items on this website, independently owned, operated in the USA. Custom limited collabs drop every month exclusively on this website from visual artists and tattoo artists. We have so many bands that I love and artists that I love, from Gaga to Blink, Katy Perry, Bad Brains, Beastie Boys, De La, Tribe Called Quest, 50 Cent, Billy, Deftones, Dead Kennedys, DMX, Dr. Dre, Eric B. and Rakim, Goo Goo Dolls, Hall & Oates, Wu-Tang, U2, Snoop, TSO, and Paramore. Those is to name a few of all my favorite bands that are on this website. I've owned t-shirts from all those artists throughout my life. Now I know to go here only. All officially licensed merchandise. Check out Rockabilia Instagram. Also go to rockabilia.com and use my code OLLC10 and get 10% off. That's rockabilia.com. Use my code OLLC10 and get 10% off your purchases. Thank you to Rockabilia for being our new sponsor. Welcome to OLLC fam. As we get older, we start paying attention to what we put in our bodies. I personally have been listening to my body since I was 18 when I went vegan. I've always been focused on my health. It's super important, mental and physical health. But it's really important for people who are just starting to get more healthy and trying to step up their life. Doing your homework, reading the labels, researching and verifying everything that's quality. It's part of the game these days. That's why I started drinking AG1s. I'm so proud to have them as a sponsor of my podcast. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut support and is backed by multiple research studies so you can trust what you're putting into your body. We're all so busy these days, so just store a pack of AG1 in the morning into a cup of water and shake it up and drink it. I love the way it tastes. I do it every single morning. It's part of my routine. I bring the packets on tour. It's an incredible life changer for me. Many supplements only reference research from ingredients in their product, but I trust AG1 in my daily routine because it's constantly putting the formula to the test. It's backed by multiple research studies. In one of those research studies, AG1 was shown to have double the amount of healthy bacteria in the gut, which is super important because these help digestion in the immune system and the immune health. And these bacteria are known to help with digestion as well, gas and bloating, which I freaking need. And it also promotes regular bowel movements, what I can attest to. In another research study, 97% participants felt more energy after 30 days and 91% of the participants noticed that they needed less coffee after 60 days. I quit coffee like 5 months ago. I know I'm good on that. But AG1 is packed with a variety of nutrient-dense ingredients and is the perfect complement to my healthy diet. I drink it because I know it's going to work and it gives me a peace of mind covering all my nutrition bases for the day. In fact, I trust it so much, that's why I'm spreading the word about it. That's why it sponsors my podcast. Thanks to Angie Huberman for turning me on to AG1s, connecting me with them, and now they're part of my podcast. It's so easy and satisfying to start your day with AG1s. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of the vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your purchase at drinkag1.com/OLLC. That's drinkag1.com/OLLC. It's never been a better time to focus on your health and wellness and get back on track, man. Take control of your daily health. Health is wealth. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Got Mr. Green next to me, Mr. Derek Green, back
What's
in my
up?
kitchen. Thanks for being here, dude.
Thanks for having me, Toby.
Love having you.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, look at your I like when you talk how your shit's so like your
I have a very boisterous voice.
Well, thank you for being here. We're going to learn a lot today because our guest today. So I did a post months ago because ever since the start of this podcast, my wife's always like more women in the podcast. So I did a post about it, and then she reached out to me. I think she DM'd me, and then we emailed.
Who?
And Jenny Wu in the house right here.
Okay,
Jenny Wu is here. Jenny Wu, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, and thanks for being reactive and actually doing the call out for women. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're here. I've never done this before where I didn't really know anybody and I met them through online, and now they're at my house from Canada, so this is awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust on your part. I could just be a total
but then I did some
crazy.
research, and I know a lot of people follow you. My wife knew who you were. A lot of people from the world know, so it's awesome. I knew you were some crazy person coming here.
You still don't know.
Canada.
You pull a knife and shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So what are you doing here? And I guess some shows out here. What's going on?
Yeah, so we're playing Crash Fest this weekend in San Francisco, and basically catching up with a lot of friends over there and hopefully selling some records.
Yeah.
So you're in a band?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do in the band?
So I'm the singer and guitar player as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But there's a bunch of different things you've been in, though.
Yeah.
There's so many different groups and things. Like was Groovy Rockers a band too?
Yeah, so I guess like going all the way back to it, I started out in the punk scene.
Yep.
Which was kind of a gateway drug for getting into Oi. And I was growing up in Edmonton in Alberta, and it's a vibrant punk scene, but obviously not a really big one. But that's where I learned how to play guitar, and that's where I kind of came up. We had like Legion shows, community hall shows, and I played in a bunch of bands in high school. But I love the punk message, live for today, no tomorrow, and like spirit of rebellion. But I think that there was something in Oi that really attracted me, which is about the values that come with that scene, loyalty to friends, like such as the hardcore scene, as well as, this idea of like internal worth, like endless internal worth that can be manifested as like self-pride and those values of strength, which I really admired as a woman. So I was surprised to see that there weren't a lot of women in the Oi scene, and I did audition for like a few Oi bands, but unfortunately was rejected. So that's where I started my solo Oi project.
That's amazing. And that's the Jenny Oi project from 2008?
Yeah, so I released my first demo in 2008. I started like in 2005, 2006, just playing on an acoustic guitar because I didn't have anything else, and doing like a lot of open mic nights and putting my demos on MySpace. And
MySpace?
Yeah, and that's the project that's going today.
That's awesome.
I'm playing the same music, but I hired some guys from LA to support me, so.
That's amazing. So how'd you get into punk, and like, was your first kind of exposure to that?
Well,
do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older sister who hates punk, and
so she inspires you definitely.
I wasn't as lucky as you, Toby, but I think all of us who come into this community, we're all born weird. You just have that that grain, that seed inside of you that just feels like, I don't think I really belong here.
Freak.
Yeah. And I guess there's a lot that can be unpacked there, but there was always like an interior angst and just like a feeling of discomfort. And so, when I heard Ruby Soho on the radio, I was like, oh, dang, what is this? And, Rancid is a huge gateway band for like a ton of different stuff. That's how I got into like Billy Bragg, a lot of references that they dropped, all the thank you credits I looked back on.
Yeah.
Then I had like the Punkorama stuff, which is how I got introduced to H2O and all those other bands. But at that time, there wasn't the internet. There wasn't like record stores in my hometown that sold punk CDs. So you really had to go through friends or like mail order. But I mean, if you didn't have a credit card like me, you had to like beg your parents. It was very inaccessible
or something too. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Punkorama, that was a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah,
those compilations are really important. But they always come up on this podcast, man.
Yeah,
Warped Tour compilation, Fat Records one. It was so cool.
Makes
They
sense,
would do that, and they give them out on the Warped Tour, just distribute them, whatever, free or whatever. And then Rancid, one of the greatest American punk bands of all time, man.
Oh, for sure. And when you hear that for the first time, because it was on the radio when I was a kid, it's just like that. Declenches something inside of you, and it's just that feeling of just wow, what was that? Can we hear it again? And you're just sitting by the radio waiting until they play that song again, and that he had no other choice.
It's crazy how big that record was too. Out Come the Wolves, man.
Yeah,
incredible record, man. We were around that time during that time.
Yeah, it was massive.
I think it was my generation's London Calling. You know, like the mix of like Caribbean sounds and like punk rock music and like poetry.
Yeah.
I also love Life Won't Wait too. Yeah. Incredible record too. All the records are amazing, but
I didn't imagine it coming at all. You know, I thought like, oh, that wave has already passed with like the Clash, and I was like, there's never going to be anything close to that. And Rancid was something different from that, which made it very special. You can tell it had influence from that, but it changed into something completely fresh in its own, and it was unbelievable to see. I was like, wow, really shocked.
And for me, that was actually a big introduction into the skinhead scene because of songs like Black and Blue and like all of the references, obviously, to original Trojan sounds and like the Caribbean influence on punk. Right. And then, you know, Lars Fredriksson, also a skinhead. So it was a window into a different world. Where I grew up, there wasn't a big oi scene, obviously. So getting the clothes, getting the albums, getting the look. I mean, yeah. A lot of times people just thought I was trying to like look like an old person or They don't understand. I like how you said thank you list too. That was so important, man. Who the band's thanking, the shit. What shirts they're wearing on the back cover. Yeah. All that discovery was so amazing.
That's how we discovered stuff as well.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, who's this? They thanked. Gotta find it.
Yeah, so really skins in your town or anything like that, right?
I think there were like 2 or 3, and then, you know, there are friends that were like skin adjacent. So I guess you would say like 12.
Skin adjacent.
But obviously
like in a small
big clique.
Town too in Canada too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You must have like stood out. You must have stood out for sure. Your whole like your friends and stuff.
I think that there was like a big intersection of sticking out because like already, you know, you're in a high school or you don't really understand people. They don't understand you. So you get into punk and then you get into oi, which is like a subgenre, which is very esoteric. And then inside of that, you're the only woman, you're the only Asian person. And like, you know, it's like, you're like the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah. And they're like, why are you wearing button-up shirts if you're a punk? Why are you wearing, I get it. Like, you're dressed like that. So in high school, you were into punk as well? That's when you kind of get into it?
Yeah, for sure.
Young, yeah. How were you in school?
Excellent student.
All right.
Yeah, straight A's. I was honors with distinction.
That. Hell yeah.
Okay, straight A's? Wow.
Yeah, I got a scholarship for university and everything.
Wow.
What was your scholarship for?
I actually got a scholarship for journalism, but I didn't pursue it because I wanted to move to Montreal. Okay. So I went to McGill.
Okay. Punk always doesn't ruin your life, but punk comes in at a time where like you change everything about what you want to do with your life. We kind of hear it and get
for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no doubt.
You can go to college, you can go start a band or move somebody else, and kind of figure it out. Right? It's like, damn.
It was huge. Kind of drift in my life in a current because when I was growing up in Alberta, the only thing I wanted to do was leave, and college university was the opportunity for me to get as far away from that as possible. Montreal was like a catalytic environment.
Far away.
So many bands, so many connections. You could take the bus to New York, which was incredible for me.
That's true. Right.
So I was like, I'm going to do as much as I can so I can get into that university so that I can get away from here so I can start my new life.
Wow.
You had a good home life though? Family, good family?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm from a mix of different cultures. Like my dad is a Chinese immigrant and my mom is Scottish origins. They met at a dim sum restaurant, had me and my sister split up really quickly after. So I was always between like two different worlds.
He was straight from China.
Yeah. Wow. He moved from Guangzhou. Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever been?
Yes, I have.
That's cool.
Yeah. Interesting oi scene there as well, you know?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Whoa.
Yeah. I toured, I played obviously a lot in Taiwan, Hong Kong, where you don't need, to meet all of the credentials of playing in mainland China, but I've seen like Misandao and like the punk bar in Beijing and stuff.
That's
so amazing.
Yeah.
What year did you go there?
I played in 2018. I played in 2015, and I went there to meet my family in like 2002.
That's incredible. Damn.
What's it like? Do you speak Mandarin? Or?
Cantonese.
Cantonese.
So, yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Well, my family actually, they speak Hokkien, which is like a dialect that existed pre-revolution. Like they immigrated around Mao's regime. So that language is lost in China, but exists in diasporas like in Canada. So.
And your dad taught you?
Well, I mean, we lived with my grandma and she didn't speak English. So there wasn't,
That's amazing. Do you speak French?
Yeah.
Damn,
we speak French at home, so.
That's what's up.
Smart. Were your parents strict and stuff, or like kind of freaked?
Super strict. I mean, it wasn't religious or anything like that, but it was like, it's hard to explain to a lot of my friends who didn't grow up in like Asian Canadian culture, but like when you're CCC Canadian born or CBC Canadian born Chinese, it's like a whole different like code that's put on you, which is like you have to go to Kumon, you have to be really good at piano. Like I did like 10 years of piano lessons.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was my first instrument. And then you got like competitive piano, so it's like yeah.
So every day practicing after school, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I woke up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning, rehearsing for like an hour.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it was really intense. But you know, it makes you a better person, builds discipline, builds character. But I noticed that a lot of people, for example, who are growing up in the community, you can become kind of like an inauthentic drone, which is like just hitting the check marks of what your parents want you to be. Or you can just rebel, push back, and try to take the good things and also try to make your own path. So I took a lot of those like immigrant values and I tried to be myself.
So you're an amazing piano player still?
Well, you know, I think I can still throw like a sonata F sharp, but
all right.
yeah, I don't test me on it. I hope there's no keyboards around here.
Were you a good kid in school? Did you get in trouble and stuff like that, or no?
I was a really good kid. I did, you know, obviously do some acts of like rebellion in the sense that, you know, we were doing food not bombs, like dumpster diving a lot, getting food, bringing them to the soup kitchens. But it wasn't like rebellion just to be bad. It was rebellion for like
good
a
shit.
cause.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's awesome. You weren't causing trouble and shit and fucking getting arrested or nothing.
No, I think that like you're not wrong when you see that there's wrong in the system, the way that they do things. So you just try to do them the right way, even if you have to break the rules.
Yeah, yeah. Your parents were kind of weird about punk rock music and stuff too?
Yeah, absolutely. They hate it. And actually, that was like the first time I kind of got taken by the police, because at that time we were organizing a lot of all ages gigs in what was like veteran lounges or like community centers. And that was the only way you could do all ages.
Right.
So we would rent these like veteran halls or community centers for like $200 or $300, put on like a gig, get like a backline, get a PA, and then you have bands and sell tickets for like $2 or $3. And we were doing a lot of the stuff for like Food Not Bombs fundraisers or like Amnesty International and stuff. But
it's awesome.
Yeah, I guess like my issue is that when you're organizing this kind of stuff, you don't have any security. There's like a lot of underage drinking. There's like noise complaints because they're like planted in neighborhoods. So like the cops would come, and like because I would be the one renting and I couldn't like turn it down because I didn't have like, you know, that level of authority and control.
Right.
You know, then you get like taken down to the station and your mom gets mad at you.
How old are you when you're doing these shows?
I was like 16 or 17, so I didn't really get in trouble, right? It's
Yeah.
just more from my parents.
Yeah.
But they hated it for sure.
What was your first job?
My first job was actually working in a park near my house, picking up like needles and garbage in the mornings on the weekends.
Damn.
Yeah. And then I was working at the hospital, like delivering flowers after that. But like they start you young. Like I started working at 14.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
You started working at 14?
Yeah, man.
What were you doing at 14?
Delivering papers.
Oh, yeah, newspapers. Yeah, that's pretty.
And then painting, you know, houses and stuff. Yeah.
I think like the ideal is that you contribute to the family, but at the bare minimum, like the idea is like you build discipline, you build respect for money, you build you know,
work ethic.
Or work ethic.
Yeah. Extremely important.
Damn, so you've been like kind of like doing your own thing since a very young age.
Yeah. I mean,
focused.
Well, I guess what do you want to do? It changes all the time. Like happiness is a moving target, but I always try to do things my way and look for a better way to do it.
So you didn't do the scholarship, right? You went somewhere else. You said you moved.
Yeah, I went to McGill University in Montreal so I could start a new band and so I could start my new life and stuff.
Yeah. And how was it going there? Did you love Montreal already? Were we going to shows there?
I felt so lonely.
I was going to say, did you know anybody there?
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Comment ça va?
Yeah.
Pourquoi?
Ça va bien. I was there like
Derek.
yeah. Ben, on peut parler en français si tu veux.
Comme ci, comme ça.
No, il parle
Can you understand what she's saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's fucked real quick? I'm part French Canadian.
No way.
I never talked about
really?
the podcast ever because
Oh
I still
my
about
God.
that. I did that 23andMe, whatever that shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I came up a good percentage of it.
Oh,
But I
no.
swear.
I didn't even know that was like a genetic category, like French Canadian,
Nah,
because
it's in
you're
there.
either like a colonizer from France or you're like,
No. I should post it. Nah, I swear to God.
it's like, oh man, I'm like 2% Ontarian and 4% from
Listen,
Saskatchewan.
I'm
crazy.
I swear to God. It's on my paperwork. I'll post that shit.
Please, I would love
yes, I have French,
to see
French
it.
Canadian. I swear to God. Then my mom. I talked to my mom. We tracked it down to somebody who was from Canada. I swear to God, man.
That's amazing.
But my point is, I can't speak French. I should be able to speak something.
It's okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's go back to your life.
I think that like linguistic possibilities are not like a genetic manifestation. They're like more like learned. So you still have time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now you moved to Montreal. You're lonely. Are you start finding people from your tribe, like meeting other punks and stuff like that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like when you come from a small town, even if everybody hates you and you ain't nothing and you're a piece of dirt, everybody at least knows you so that they can hate you. Yeah. But then when you move to a big city and you nobody, it's just like you go to the punk shows and you're like, hi, but everybody's got their friends and it's really tough to rebuild and, you know, starting a band when you're nobody, you know, I mean, every punk scene's got their cliques. Everybody's got like, you know, their friends that they're going to come to first for their guitar players or whatever. So you got to really like start from the bottom.
It's so crazy when you say like there's cliques. Obviously we know there's cliques in the hardcore scene, but it's like for us when we get into it, it was everybody can go make friends.
True.
There wasn't no cliques. It wasn't no like punks and skins separated. It was for everybody, all the weirdos to go.
That's very, very true.
To be together and meet other people with like-minded.
And even the freaky you were, it seemed like you'd be like it drew more interest. You know, a lot of times. I mean, we're talking about back in the day for us. I mean, it was definitely like, oh, that one's really freaky. Let's see what's up with him. Or especially like new people, you're like, okay, where's this person?
Welcome him in.
Right. I mean, at least that's so how cool. We were like, definitely for like new kid, like who's that? Like,
because that was the whole point where people didn't feel welcome in their own homes or wherever they're from. They come there and they're all equal. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's how it should be.
Felt like that's how it should be. Yeah.
Right.
But the skinhead scene, like especially at that time and at that place, there's so many divisions. I mean, you obviously have the whole political spectrum that comes with the skinhead scene.
Yeah, this is something I don't really understand. So maybe you can break it down.
But the sharp skin still around?
So basically, for like listeners who are maybe coming from a different direction, to go through the genealogy of skinhead, like the original skinheads were influenced by 60s Caribbean music that was cropping up in England. So it was a big influence from the Jamaican Caribbean communities, and they had Trojan records that came in, and that sound and that style really influenced the first wave of skinheads. So that's where you got the cropped hair with a trill line, and you had like the button down shirts, because that actually was the Caribbean diaspora's clothing and music at that time. So the original skinheads were probably the ones who were the most multicultural and the most actively anti-racist, because even though you could say it was cultural appropriation, it was admiration and also a mix of people. And that's where you get like two-tone ska, like black and white together and all that. Fast forward to the 80s, you know, you have oi music that comes around where it's a subgenre of punk where, you know, instead of like, I guess it was a backlash against people saying, oh, you know, punk is becoming so bourgeois and it's becoming removed from working class. So we got to bring it back to, you know, a class struggle. We got to bring it back to real human problems. And this idea that anybody can pick up a guitar and play like 3 chords and sing an anthemic verse or chorus. And that skinhead style translated into the oi movement. Okay. So you had these 80s skinheads that were going into what was like a punk influenced sound of oi.
This is what I remember. That.
Yeah. And then you have the traditional like reggae skinheads that were stuck back from the 60s influences.
Okay.
And then, you know, in 1980, oi got its name from Gary Bushell, who looked at like a lot of the bands that were playing in London at that time, and he said like, oh, oi, which is like hey in Cockney English, should be the name of this genre, and then it blossomed from there.
Wow.
But because like the British National Front was also active at that time, and looking like a skinhead was just like a style. It was like a norm. It was like almost sort of mainstream. Like you had bands like Slade, you know, that were dressing like skinheads. It was like on the popular, I guess, horizon. So a lot of skinheads, they were getting into the right-wing politics. And then you had like, you know, basically white supremacists. And that image is the most startling and the most, I think, upsetting. And that's what sticks into people's mind when they see the word skinhead, even though it's a very small fraction. And then from that, you have so many streams, like in reaction to that negative stigma, you have Sharp, which is Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice. Then you also have, you know, Redskins, Rash, like red anarcho skinheads. And
Never
then
heard of that.
Me either, dude.
Yeah, that's the polar
opposite
left.
of Sharp.
Well,
oh no, left.
Left. So they're
further left.
Communist anarchists. So they're saying like the roots of racism are capitalism. So if we really want to destroy the capitalist system, you have to be communist or socialist. And if you want to be really
communist
against
or socialist.
Yeah, communist. Well, communism is like an extension of socialism.
Right.
Like you have to be at least socialist.
Okay.
And so the idea is, if you really want to fight racism and you really want to fight Nazis, you have to fight capitalism.
I see.
And address class.
Damn, never heard of RASH.
Yeah,
and
me either.
There's a lot of subsections. And then you have RAC, which is Rock Against Communism, which came around in the 80s as well with like, the communist threat. And you have a lot of those American oi bands that came out in that period.
Was that more was that close to like a fascist or?
Yeah, that's very right wing.
Okay.
For sure. We don't like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
right.
Yeah. And you have like this
Wow,
huge, I guess, like, spectrum of skinheads.
I see.
But right now, in the world today, I would say the majority of skinheads are not racist and, at least not racist, but most of us are anti-racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then the Proud Boys come, and then they take the Fred Perry, right?
I know. I had to burn mine.
Yeah, with the
What?
black and the yellow trim on it.
Really?
And they use that as their colorway, and it kind of fucks up that fucking...
They used really?
Yeah, and it became like the one they always wore and shit, yeah.
Fred
The
Perry.
yellow and black. Yeah.
Black. Wow. Pittsburgh Steeler colors.
Because my son had one, he wore it to work once. Some lady asked him if he was a Proud Boy. He's like, what? He's like, it's a fucking shirt my mom got me.
They're expensive,
my
man.
son stopped wearing it.
Yeah, it's like $120 down the drain.
Yeah, dude,
I
Fred
know.
Perry's
It's a
sick.
lot of money,
I
man.
know. It's crazy because they took that colorway and made it fucking so the Proud Boys kind of skins too? Were they skins? Or
So I think that you would say that they appropriated a large part of the skinhead identity and image when they took that polo, because let's be honest, skinheads look really cool.
Yeah.
And you got the polos, you've got the Doc Martens boots, you got Levi jeans, you've got like Sherpas, you've got bomber jackets, you got braces. It looks so sharp. It looks so cool. Like that's what drew me in, right?
Yeah.
And that image is just so powerful. So I think when they were looking for an identity for this group of angry white men, they said, wow, that's a cool looking shirt. And they just took it. Yeah.
Why'd they pick the eyes out or some shit?
I don't know.
Something else
Definitely. I mean, I would thought they would pick something a little cheaper,
Yeah. But they have to say elite. They have to say elite.
That's a good
But
point.
that's actually why,
I mean, I know.
but that's why Fred Perry is also a cool brand,
But
because
Fred Perry is from
it's from England. Yeah.
Motherfucker, send them money. They talk about like American pride.
Yeah.
To invest in American companies. I
great
thought they'd
point.
pick an American company no, actually, they wouldn't. They wouldn't know that. They wouldn't.
Nah,
deep dive.
they wouldn't
I
even
think
know,
that's
man.
Yeah, of
where a
course, it
lot
makes
of
sense, yeah.
neo-Nazism falls short, like research.
Yes.
It was funny because
Yeah,
one of those dudes had like a printing company or something, and then somebody I saw online and it was made in China. He thought it was made in America. Some shit I saw a while ago. Like fucking morons, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We've had our share of run-ins with Nazis in the 80s and 90s and fisticuffs and all that shit and fucking.
it was definitely like that wave coming strong, especially Margaret Thatcher and Reagan
Yeah.
really kicked it off of this pride in your country. And because it was, I remember growing up in like a ska peaceful scene of like ska and reggae and and skinheads being there and like no problem, but they came in strong in the 80s.
Yes.
Like a wave where it was just like, oh yeah, this is the like you said, I don't know, like this identity of like
people or
lost
beat people
people.
up.
Yeah, like there was like this lost identity with this
Totally.
Of young white kids,
Young
I guess.
angry white kids.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Boys.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that in the history of the world, when you see a lot of economic recession, a lot of anger comes with that, and also a lot of the same narratives, like blame
the same.
Immigrants
Yes.
and blame
Yeah.
women,
Totally.
and like
Yeah.
so it's repetitive. It's a locked on
Completely
repeat.
repetitive.
But
it was hard. I was like, why are they coming to a punk rock scene? They know nothing about shows. Like this is nothing.
It was a place where they can come recruit people or beat people up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like a soundtrack for violence, and that's what they came for.
And we
it had
had
nothing
to
to do
like,
with the lyrics of the band.
and it was just like a constant fight. Like we can't have them in the scene. Like,
Yes.
they can't let them take this over.
That shit did not fly in New York.
It did not.
There was
fly.
no Nazis in New York City, Manhattan, Queens, nowhere. It was just, I've seen so many get, oof.
yeah, well, that's also where like a lot of sharp began in Minnesota, Minneapolis, and
'cause
like
it was
the
gnarly out
Baldies.
there, right?
Yeah, and
Baldies, yeah.
so that's the origin of the sharp movement.
Because there was
and-
cash out there or something back in the day. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah, my wife was arrested once for jumping on a Nazi, and she got thrown into the paddy wagon with a bail her out of jail. We never back. I'm not going to say what the place is, but we never went back there after that. It was the Hammerskins. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, the Hammerskins, and there were a lot of
scary
crews.
Though.
Yeah,
all dressed up with their hair like part. Oh my dude.
It's
is that still around anymore?
So
I'm probably not going to say the name of the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah,
but it's not around anymore.
So basically, a lot of that is totally separated from the average lives of most people. Like the extreme white supremacists obviously still exist, but you wouldn't see them at like our shows. You wouldn't see them like walking down the street.
Storming the Capitol.
Right.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. But
they look normal. They look like normal people now. That's what I'm saying.
It's become normalized mentality.
Right.
And I think that in the skinhead scene, like if you are looking really just inside the subculture, the problem isn't necessarily just white supremacists. It's like the banalization of racism. It's just racism is everywhere.
Totally.
And it's, for me, it's like, yes, we can focus all this energy and like the glory of fighting Nazis, but like, what about the everyday person who's going to come
life.
and say something to you like, where do you come from? Or like, explain to me why you're not white, or like, stuff like that. I think that is the racism we have to fight. And yes, it's less sexy, and yes, it's more painful, but like there's a lot of performative anti-racism in the skinhead scene now where people fly, sharp flags, but they are not anti-racist. Like if they see something racist, they don't say something. They don't you speak up. It's just like, I'm just not racist. But that's my problem when you go to the shows. There are only white people there. So if you want to be anti-racist, you have to break down the barrier. You have to invite people from different communities. You have to get to know people who come from different backgrounds.
I think that communication is extremely important, because I think this identity of just being so separate and having, not knowing for real, like, what is this person really about?
Totally.
There was like something I was just seeing about this guy who was a musician, and it was like in the 50s or something. And he started talking to this white guy that was there, and he was like a Klan member, and he was like, I really enjoy your voice. And his friend was like, you know who you're talking to? And he was like, and the black guy was like, no. And he was like, he's literally in the Klan, like showed him his card, and he was like, wow. He's like, I'd love to see you play again. He's just like, I just never talked to a black person before.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so then that black musician ended up really recruiting, like talking more and more to Klans people. And he ended up like changing their mind through music and just conversation of like having a lot of things in common, and then actually getting the robes. Like, hey, a lot of these members he talked to were like, I'm not going to be a part of this anymore. And he's like, can I have your robe? And he has a collection of Klan robes.
That's fucking
of
crazy.
like people, but it came from communicating.
I
like
love
really,
that.
And I think that's super important to find.
And very courageous on both parties
exactly.
to come together. Yeah.
Totally.
There's a podcaster guy too, I forget his name. He's a black guy too.
Yeah.
And he interviews Klan people. We saw that. A lot of them like changed their minds after hanging out with this guy for months. He becomes friends with them now too.
I just think that's a great, it's a necessary step that may be difficult at first, but it's all about communication a lot of times,
100%. Segregation is one of the greatest catalysts for racism. If you don't know anything about other people, it's very easy to hate them.
Exactly.
Absolutely, man.
Totally.
Half the people that say stupid things never even left their town or met a black person their whole life. But they're like, I'm scared of them. I hate them. Why? I never met anybody like that. You know?
But the skinhead scene today is very, very much male and white still. So if people are saying like, yes, we're anti-racist, well, show me.
Okay.
Yeah, show me.
It's a great point. I didn't even thought about it. It's a great point. But the hardcore scene is the most diverse I've ever seen at this point.
That's so cool.
You know what I mean? Like so many women fronting bands. Like we go to all the shows out here. It's like all different. Went to the Turnstile Speed show, and it was just like all walks of life. Everybody singing. It's like this community, this kind of diversity and kind of safe place that's been created again that we've never seen in a long time. You know what I mean?
So how does that get created? Like, how does that happen?
I think it's just the way that for Turnstile, the way that the music they make,
just being themselves, being very organic, not forcing anything, just really
very inclusive.
Yeah.
The stuff they talk about, the stuff they stand for, the stuff they promote, the way they carry themselves, the way they play their shows.
Yeah.
All ages, no barricades, playing at churches, still different spots. Just like, and I don't know, kids are dancing for the first time in their first mosh pit, and it's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's beautiful to see it as
it's an element of many different things.
Yeah.
They took a lot of the very positive things from our older scene, you know, that like the greatest things, like pieces, and created again like their own mold of who they are, you know, and you know, in the time frame of what's happening now.
That's so cool.
So it really speaks to a lot of different people. And I agree. Like I used to be like the only black kid at a show, you know, and it's like now going to shows, it's just incredible just seeing people from like all over, you know, and especially women, you know, like there was only like 3 women that you knew in the scene, you know, in each scene you're like, oh yeah, that's ba ba ba, ba ba ba, and ba ba ba. And they're either usually like taking photos, writing, you know, zines, or just documenting a lot of the stuff going on. But it's so diverse now and so amazing to see, like to go to shows. I love it.
Yeah, the hardcore scene especially, it's very diverse, you know.
That's
especially
something that was really interesting. Like I went to see In Mackay speak last year about archiving and the photos that were coming out in DC. And I asked him, like, well, where are all the women? And he said, those are the people behind the camera.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, it's interesting how ill-representative it was, all of that work, because that work that was probably undervalued at the time was mostly done by women who probably didn't have a lot of access to musical instruments or playing in bands.
Yeah,
you're
there's
right.
so many women photographers that books out now.
Yeah.
And like,
and I'm like, oh my God,
always
thank
at the shows.
God that, you know, that exists, you know, because it's extremely important. And it has so much value, you know, like to look back at that. And I'm so glad that there were people that were documenting this, you know. It's just like, oh my God, because it was really a short time span of like this, you know, energy was happening, but now it's continuing on, you know, with younger generation. It's really cool.
Yeah, I just had Theo on from the Lunatics, and she was talking about growing up in New York, and it was very male-dominated. CBGBs and all these venues were really scary for her. She'd be outside totally scared. So they created their own place where they played at Dawn Hills and these other kind of like gay clubs, gay nightclubs. So they created a place that was a safe place for people that were punk but didn't fit into CBGBs and all that work, because it was really tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And skinheaded out. And so they created their own lane where people can come be themselves and feel safe, which is beyond a punk place, you know what I mean? It was like almost too weird for punk. And they created their own lane, which is sick because New York was just like hard, you know? So they kind of figured out a way to do it where they could have all kinds of people come to the shows, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It just sucks because for us, like 7 Seconds had a song called Not Just Boys Fun. That's like from the 80s. And these bands that we love were singing about that shit years ago. But the lyrics never really connected to, people really get the lyrics, you know?
Right.
Because it's not about just men. This music's not just for men, you know? And I've noticed that and had people on the pod talking about it for years. It's just like how women feel like not threatened or just feel like that it's not really welcome.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, a lot of that is systemic, right? I mean, for women to even play music is an anomaly.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that most of us are socialized is to be a carer, to care about relationships, to make sure everybody feels comfortable, to, you know, make things easier for your family members, for your friends. It's very much, you know, an emphasis on beauty and making other people feel good. That's unfortunately as an effect of the patriarchy. So to give a woman an instrument and say, I want to hear your voice, I want to hear what you have to say, it sounds really easy. But in fact, when most of us are grown up, like feeling that that is not our place and that we have other requirements and responsibilities in our lives in order to be valuable, it's very difficult.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking for all the men, speaking for me and Derek,
but it's
we loved to always have women at shows and loved women artists and still do and support them all. And fucking, you know, my wife had a whole crew called Chicks Up Front Posse in Chicago, and they would fucking stand their ground and be up front singing all the words. They had fanzines out. My wife would smack a couple dudes up here and there. Keep in check. Like a whole Chicago crew, you know what I'm saying? Like she was just like, yeah, she's my wife's on the cover of the Scratch the Surface. She's in the pit. Like my wife's always been like, her whole crew of girls, like, fuck that. It's not just for, you know, not just boys only, you know?
Do you feel that there's a change with more, you know, an evolution?
Or is it worse?
I think that the glass ceiling just got a floor higher.
Okay.
To be honest, I think that, you know, back when I first started, there were no women on stage. I mean, like, people just had no idea. Like, I mean, when I would walk in with a guitar case, they would say, "Who's your boyfriend?"
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just normal, right? And I didn't even bat an eye because it was just the way it was.
Right.
And you know, my first punk band when I was playing, like, I don't know why, but my name had to be like Jenny Vagina, and I didn't like it. But it's just like, that's what you had to do. You had to be like sexy in order to have a place, because like that was your value as a woman, looking good and looking sexy. You know, otherwise, why are you in the band, right? And it was really tough. I mean, like, that's why I started the solo project. And like, even as a solo musician, I was playing a lot of solo gigs, and you know, like stuff happens, or like you're you know, put in a corner, or people make you do stuff that you want to do just so that you can play gigs, or you can be in that space. And that's really hard. And that's something that's still really difficult to talk about. And now when I see women on stage, that is amazing. And that is, that's what this is all about, like creating inclusion. But then, you know, you say, I've been to this festival. I've been to like probably 50 festivals this year. How many women did I see on stage? Less than 5%. And how many of them were headliners? None of them. You know? So the glass ceiling is just higher, but it's still there.
It's crazy. You like, I always say her name wrong. Amel and the Sniffers?
Amel and the Sniffers, they're doing really great.
They're on tour Turnstile, and they fucking killed it. And she talks all kinds of amazing shit on stage, political shit. She's just very punk. You heard of them?
Yeah, of course.
Fucking
I love them. Big fan.
Yeah, so they're on that tour, which is great, because they're getting exposed to a whole different group of people, you know what I mean?
Oh, and I think that those kinds of voices are so important, and so incredibly important in breaking down walls. But there's still so much work to be done. And I also feel like there are so many double standards that are put on female musicians. Like for Amel and the Sniffers, like she's amazing, but she's also like skinny and white. And, you know, like, which is not to take away from any of her glory. She's incredible. I've seen them live. Just so much respect. But like, when are we going to see like, you know, women that are representative of like a lot of other parts of
the Lindas?
Yeah. I saw them this summer with Green Day.
Linders, man.
I cried, because for me as an Asian woman, that is the first time in my life that I felt that I was represented on a main stage.
Yeah. They're amazing. The young girls in Asia.
Yeah, I follow them.
Yeah, they're fucking sick, man.
Yeah, a racist, sexist boy. It was that was the confinement jam. That broke down a lot.
But that's interesting that you say that, because getting into hardcore and punk, you know, there weren't, like I was saying, there weren't a lot of black people that were really involved, and I got a lot of harassment in high school from black people, like, why are you listening to white people music? You know, why you listen to devil music? You know, and you know, it's playing electric guitar, and I was like, I think black people have always played electric guitar. I don't think it has anything to do with race. But they were just so ignorant at the time. But it's interesting that my connection of me feeling in place in that home was seeing a band like Bad Brains. I was just like, all right, there's some black guys there. This is
Death and those kinds
It's just like this connection. It made a strong connection. It's like it's okay for me to be here, you know, even though everyone was really open for me to be there. But it just, you know, since they were like the best band I've ever seen, you know, it just made it even better. I was like, this is
motherfucker,
this is my place. But
do you feel like your blackness is often something that people project onto you, as opposed to something that you get to choose to express to other people?
No, it's definitely projected onto me. You know, like I felt, you know, just in general, like stepping to the whole like metal scene, you know, was predominantly white males, like period.
Pretty much.
It was just like, what, you know, like what's going on here? But you know, it's a scene that's changing as well. I think for women it was like brutally difficult, you know, complete double standard, especially in the metal scene. But now I slowly but surely I've seen, you know, so many great bands, like all girl metal bands, that are getting respect and being able to play on bigger venues, doing full tours around the world, you know, especially bands from Brazil. And I lived there for 20 years, and there's so many great women musicians that are just getting recognized, where I watched a show standing in the back in LA and watching my friends play, and these guys commenting, they were just like, wow, they're pretty cool. Like, you know, and I was like, I love that. You know, I get like goosebumps thinking like, yeah. They're like, wow, they're awesome. Not like, oh, check out that girl's ass. Or, you know, like, and they're who they are, you know, they're not like thin, skinny, whatever. They're their own personality, but strong personalities. And it's just like forgetting the fact that they're women, just great musicians. And that's where I'm like, oh, finally, you know, hearing this.
Is that Ginger?
Well, that, I mean, no, it was this band Nervosa and a band called Crypta. And you had Fernanda on
she's
here.
Great.
Yeah.
She's great.
So it's like, it was like really cool to see, like, you know, just guys I don't know normally, just hearing their comments like, fuck, man, they're so heavy. Like, this is great.
And we got a list of two, an arch enemy, and
but like it's I think it has such a strong impact for like young people, you know, not only women, you know, just young people in general. And that's the mindset I think people need to really.
When women on stage just being musicians
exactly.
is normalized.
Right.
That is the best sign of equalization in the future. But
I agree.
I still think, and I still feel, you know, a lot of double standards when it comes to body image or fat shaming, and also, you know, a sexualization of a lot of female musicians, which is really unfortunate, because I was saying to a lot of like my male friends, you know, it's just incredible because you guys have this opportunity where you can walk into a room and play a song and people just listen.
Right.
And, you know, my whole life, I kind of felt like I had to prove who I was before I even got that chance.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you talk to a lot of men and they're like, oh, the tour stories, like, what's the worst thing that's happened to you? It's like, oh, we had this dirty mattress and we had to sleep in this guy's room and it was like super smelly. And if you didn't get paid, it's like, yeah, that sucks. But like, what about getting raped?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not even.
Right.
Damn. I'm sorry, I went through that.
No, but I mean, like every woman on this planet has been a victim of sexual assault or harassment.
Totally.
I've never met a woman who's over the age of 18 who hasn't been. Like, that's just a reality.
Yeah.
And that's something that's so hard, but we have to talk about it because we talk about creating safe spaces, but the whole world should be safe.
I know. Outside the hardcore scene, I know.
Yeah.
Everyday life. Which it seems like it's more common now for people to say some sideways racist dumb shit to somebody straight to their face. I think because of what's happening with you know, presidents and social media, just everything. You know, people being so comfortable to say stuff to people, like, which really wouldn't happen a long time ago. I don't think it's definitely gotten worse in the past.
Yeah,
since the pandemic or more, man. I don't know.
It's insane because
it's been so normalized to say.
Yeah, but I think it's really important that, you know, people have that space to speak, because I think a lot of times especially men don't realize how, you know, they don't know that side about women. But like, now that I've talked to like so many different women from different places around the world, it's just like a majority of them have been sexually assaulted or raped.
Yeah.
And it's just like blows my mind. Like, I don't think a lot of men even realize like the large percentage that is.
I think a lot of men don't know what the definition of sexual assault is.
Right.
You know, it's any unwanted touching.
Right.
You know, so
I'm
most of my male friends, like, we've had a really hard conversation. Like, for example, I just finished a tour with my band in Europe, and you know, you play gigs and like you're working the merch and all people, they kind of grab you by the side boob to take a picture, and it's so uncomfortable, but you're in the position where you're like, I really want to make a, you know, good impression, and I feel like I owe it to them because they let me play this stage, and so I'm just going to stand here and feel that hand climb up there, and it's so awkward. And you know, that's just something that, as you know, a female musician, you just get acclimatized to. Like, I don't know a lot of female musicians that doesn't happen to, and you just take it. And a lot of my, like, the guys who play in my band, they were like, well, why do you do that? Like, and it's, we talked a lot about it. Like, if you're a female musician, the expectation is that you're nice. You have to be really nice, and you have to be so thankful all the time. Thank you so much for coming to my show. Thank you so much. And it's the second that you create that boundary, that is a normal boundary, like, don't touch my boob, don't touch my waist. You don't need to touch me in order to take a picture. You become the bitch, right? So it's tough. Like, you got to share your gear, like, share your amp heads, share your guitar, you know, just take it. It's tough. And it's like all those small little narratives that we have that build up, and that's who creates those lines and those divisions. And like, talking to my male friends, like, when you say, like, you know, that guy made me feel uncomfortable, just the way he was looking at me, they understand, like, I've looked at somebody like that. You know? So at some point in our lives, we've all kind of done something that we're not proud of, but a big part of the conversation that needs to happen is taking accountability.
Yeah, which nobody does.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It's like everyone's like, whoa, where do rapists come from? Like, I mean, just women walking down dark alleys, right? It's like, no, it's from It's from fathers, from brothers, from uncles, from boyfriends, from husbands.
Yeah.
Where's sexual assault come from? Oh, it's not just like some random creepy dude at a bus stop.
It normally isn't.
Nah.
It's from your friends. At
right.
It's the show
or
you
your
went
family
to.
members, all that shit,
yeah.
dude. Sorry, back to Lunatics said they were playing a show in Ireland and they were all getting undressed backstage and there was a mirror there and they heard some commotion behind the mirror and realized it was the promoter and his friends. It was a see-through mirror. It was a two-way mirror.
Oh, wow.
And they chased this dude through the club and I don't know what I think they threw him on the floor and they made him fucking take his clothes off, the promoter. They flipped on him. But that's just like one situation.
Yeah.
Being an all-girl band, just trying to have privacy backstage and change after the show. So fucked. Like, dudes don't have to worry about that shit.
Right.
Dudes who walk around naked don't give a fuck anywhere. But I'm saying as a woman backstage in a safe place, it's crazy, man.
I think even more
Most
normalized.
dudes are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But even more normalized than that is like, you're a woman in the backstage, you're tuning your guitar, and then you hear the stories of other guys like talking about women like they're objects, like who I banged last night and who looks hot, and sharing photos of girls that these girls sent to them in private. Just like it's a trophy. And as a woman, it's like, I've been in places where people make anti-Asian jokes and you feel really bad. But, you're the only one. So what are you going to say? And, in the backstage, you feel like just you all hate women. Or you love them when they're objects, but you don't respect us.
Yeah.
And
so
now
true.
here I am sharing a stage with you.
Do you feel that what do you feel about women who are sharing these photos of themselves? Do you think that they have any accountability for?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like if they're you have these guys like, oh, look what she sent me.
Oh, and he sent it to them. Yeah.
Right.
I think that the complicity of that arrangement is I am sending you this photo for you because there's already a level of trust. Like I'm sending you this image of me to create vulnerability, to create intimacy, but the expectation is that this doesn't become public pornography.
Right.
Of course, you have to be careful what you send on the internet and stuff, but that's just like saying you shouldn't be wearing a short skirt walking down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can't blame victims.
Yeah.
So I think that, if people are sharing those those images publicly, the blame is on them because they're breaking the implicit understanding of that agreement.
True. I agree. Right.
I'm so happy I'm married for 30 years. And fucking, dude, so lucky to have you know what I mean? Like, it's just not fucking be out there. Like, I can't imagine ever just dudes who like cheat on their girlfriends or their wives or just talk to women like that. It's just fucking, oh man, it's just like some real ignorant backward shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. But I also feel like, when you're saturated in that culture and then people say, oh no, but not you, Jenny, like you're my friend. But it's like, but then
I'm not talking about you.
How am I supposed to take that? Like,
yeah,
everybody else here is a piece of ass or a bitch or, you know what I mean? And just not me. Like, that's a part of me. That's who I am.
Insecure people out there, man. Insecure, like dudes and band dudes and fucking just, I don't know. It sucks you have to go through all that just to fucking play music and do something you love and express yourself.
Yeah, I think it's all women,
Yeah.
And that's where I find a lot of the silver lining in this, which is community and resilience amongst women. Like being able to talk about it with female friends, with other female colleague musicians, creating bridges from like shared sorrows or experiences, and like using that as, a sounding board.
Do you write songs about it too?
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Again, through music therapeutic and yeah, man, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, so right now, back to music. So, you go to college in Montreal, you play music, and then you start finding friends there, and then you take off to music. What happens after that when you're in Montreal? How long are you in Montreal for?
So I was in Montreal for 4 years, getting education. I played in a punk band called The Pervs, and then I got into an oi band, the Groovy Rookers, and I was playing lead guitar there for a while. But I had been writing all these songs, and I really wanted to play my own music. But the difficulty was, again, finding the musicians or like being able to be in a band where I could share my lyrics or share my tunes. So that's where I started the solo project.
Yeah.
And since then, I've just carried on with the solo project. I really believe that it was better to do something alone than not at all. And
discovering yourself.
Yeah. So one guitar, one voice. I since that time in the 18 years, I played in like 64 different countries, like 1,000 gigs, just doing it by myself.
Gigs,
yeah.
Damn. So that was Alberta Rose record that came out?
Yeah, the Alberta Rose was my debut album. I got signed to a female owned and led Oi record label.
That's sick.
And so we've, just worked together for decades and just consistently putting out music and going.
And you had some other groups too, like, are these other groups you're in? The Choices, Rebel Rule?
Yeah.
The Dive Tones?
Yes. So
Damn, a lot of bands.
Just diversifying, because the thing is, I think that you can fall in love with music and a genre and a project, but at a certain moment, you're interested in other aspects of music as well. Like I love music first, and then underneath that umbrella, I love Oi, I love punk, but I wanted to do something that was like a bit broader, perhaps a little bit less esoteric.
Yeah.
Expand an audience and expand opportunities for playing gigs. And so I started like a 77 punk inspired sort of power pop band in Paris called The Choices. And then I've got like a Rebels Rule is like a studio band only, but it's glam.
Someone's from Russia in the band too?
Yeah, and the
cool.
first EP was actually like a joke. So it was like April Fool's. So we recorded everything analog in Cantonese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we pretended like it was a band that was released Pathy Orient in 1978 and released this album as an April Fool's joke. And it's funny because a lot of people like on the Reddits and stuff, they're like, my dad had the album. And it's like, it's just jokes, man. It's just jokes. And then the
cool.
April Fool's stuff was so successful, we got signed to do the album. So
Damn, that's awesome.
that's where it came out. And now I've got the Dive Tones, which is a 8-piece ska orchestra. So yeah, just trying to learn every day.
That's
incredible. Cool. So you've been on tour for, have you making money at making a living with the music now for a while, or just?
Well, I make some money. It's like enough to do like music. A lot of it, what we earn, we reinvest into it. And like buy some Coca-Cola sometimes, stuff like that. But yeah, I think everybody I've ever played with, we have side hustles as well.
Yeah. So just music and that, and just living in Canada.
Yeah. Living in Canada, I spent a lot of my life and my career working overseas. So like we were talking before the podcast, I lived for a while in Russia, which is a really incredible, living there in like 2012 in the Skinhead scene. That was a really interesting time in my life, being in the thick of it. And,
Was it cool? Was it?
It was scary.
I was going to ask you if it's scary.
I guess like the benefit of being in the Skinhead scene is that, you meet people and you go to gigs and you find connections with people. Like, I'm not really sure as an expat would I make a lot of Russian friends, but being in the punk scene and the Skinhead scene, you make them. Like, you learn to speak the language, you create bonds with people, you go to their parents' house,
Wow.
I think I went to almost every single oblast except for like Chechnya and Dagestan. In Russia, we played a ton. We played like all the Urals, Ufa, like Vladivostok. Like I played in like Siberia a bunch of times.
Cool.
Once. But yeah, it was incredible. But also, if you want to talk about Nazis, there were a lot of them.
I was going to ask you,
a lot of them.
different cliques of skins in Russia, like we talked in America too. It's like that.
Yeah, and
like right, left, whatever. Just
I think like the baseline mentality of that time in that place was very homophobic, very racist, I was a little uncomfortable, and I think there were times like, we played a squat in the Urals and we had like a Molotov cocktail thrown at us, and like the drum carpet went on stage, like fire, and, you just run out and, like a few times people like throw knives and stuff at you, but you just play through it. Yeah.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. But I also like, I played some cool gigs like in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, like Uzbekistan too. And I never even knew that there was a punk scene there. So it was
mind blowing.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Crazy. When you think about like different like skin scenes all in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you think that they captured their imagery through probably like they're just seeing like the Nazi side of it, and that they were like, oh, this is what it is to be a skinhead. They didn't really know so much the root of it.
I think that,
good question.
Like any movement, people get in for a million different reasons.
Right.
I think that globally speaking, my theory is what happened in the world is when Oi in England became a little bit less popular after the 80s, and then there was like a bit of a 90s comeback, it got exported internationally. So where the global working class, it was in the global south. So now the biggest skinhead scenes in the world are like Indonesia, Mexico, Colombia, you know, and that idea of being working class and having solidarity and fighting for something that you believe in, regardless of having very little power in the system, is so powerful for people who are struggling with it and living with it.
Right.
And I think that in Russia, there was a huge amount of angst in the 90s, especially after the fall of the wall, because people were suddenly left with nothing. And you get this punk music that was exported, imported, and that anger and that resilience just anchors people and attracts them. I think that maybe some people were like, I'm a white supremacist and this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there were like a lot of people who were just
I get to dress nice.
Yeah, I get to dress nice and that's pretty nice. But I think there were like a lot of people who were like, I love the sound and I love like the lore and I love the origin story and I want to be this.
But it's also like you were saying, it's taking pride in yourself.
Yes.
And finding that pride. And if it's through, I don't know, maybe their identity as a color, you know, that it's just like, this is.
So that's the big problem with the word skinhead pride, because it, you know, it elicits a lot of ideas and images. But for me, skinhead pride is pride in yourself, like what you worked for, who you choose to be, the values that you have. It's not something that you were born with or that is
that you have no choice in.
And it's certainly not from skin color.
It's crazy that word skinhead to this day, if you even say it to anybody who's like a civilian, no matter what, it's not. It's never changed. It's always been tarnished like just that. You know what I'm saying? For the ordinary person.
Yeah.
That's all they think about. Because like back in the day, Oprah Winfrey, all those shows, Geraldo show, and then throughout the years, you only hear about the negative sides of it. It sucks. Because there is like such a beautiful.
There's a beautiful part of it too. But I also think that's what attracts people, because when you're part of something that is so caustic and that's so, you know, in debate and so contentious, and it's like a little bit of danger and a little bit of defensiveness that comes into it. It's like something you have to protect and defend, and like not everybody can know about it because I'm cool. You know what I mean? So I guess that's an element of the attraction. But there's a huge overlap between the hardcore scene and the skinhead scene. I mean, like, I mean, even if you're like Age of Quarrel, like, I mean, skinheads dropped, right? So
Gnostic Front. Woo.
Yeah.
What was it like in you said you lived in Kenya?
Yeah,
and so there was a skinhead in Nairobi.
No, but I did play some shows. No. I played like a show in like...
She was like, no, matter of fact.
Yeah, like I
Nobody looked like you there in Kenya, right? I mean, no punk rockers and shit really? Or?
No. I mean, like none that I met, right? Like, there were definitely a lot of people with shaved heads, but I don't want to say that they were like listening to the Cockney Rejects. But I did play some gigs. Mostly the reaction was negative. People were very disappointed.
Like, what type of people would come up to shows? Like,
mostly like Afrobeat fans, like, because basically what had happened is I actually had a friend from Canada who owned a bar in Nairobi and who owned a bar in Kigali in Rwanda. So he got me to play there.
It's crazy.
And I was doing like Cox Bar covers and like and everybody looked so uncomfortable, and I was like, we're just gonna get through this together, you know.
That's amazing.
Come see me for a CD.
Cox Bar, like some of the nicest people I ever met, man, and we got to play with them like maybe 10 years ago or less, and somehow they asked us to play these shows. We played shows. My wife's friends with the singer's daughter, and they were the sweetest dudes. They wouldn't let us give them free merch. They bought merch from us, and they're playing the last show out here in a couple months. I'm going to go see them at the Palladium, but they were the sweetest people. And my wife grew up on all the Oi stuff. That's her shit. I've heard throughout the years, but then meeting them and just seeing them, how amazing humans they were really sweet, man.
Yeah.
I think my mind a lot, you know.
When you're truly great like that, you're just humbled because, you know, you have nothing left to prove. Like, been playing music for over 50 years, and every single one of their albums is consistently wonderful. The last album, Hand on My Heart, really touched me a lot because as a mother now, a lot of those lyrics resonated with me, and it's amazing to see a band that grows and the content of their songs changes with life's evolution.
How old is your kid, a boy or girl?
I got both.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, one of each.
Nice.
So my oldest is my daughter. She's 2.5, and my son is 7 months old.
Congrats.
7 months.
Yeah.
Congrats.
He's
fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh baby. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Being a mom's amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing and challenging.
Has it changed any of your thoughts on the world or the world you come from, or just like raising somebody in this world, or just I don't know?
It's changed me 100% to every single molecule in my body. I think that before there were a lot of things like, to be honest, DMing you or coming here, I would have been really intimidated, and also I would have found an excuse to not take that chance. But now that I have a daughter, like I want her to see me as a musician and somebody who who opened every door and knocked on every door, and I don't feel scared anymore because
awesome.
I know that there's something that's more important than any of this, and that's the end goal.
Right.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, you're a mom now. Skin mom. It's cool.
Yeah, and I will say that it's so hard sometimes when you have to gig or you're playing shows.
Yeah,
I mean, I was gigging up until like my last trimester.
Damn.
And like I'm playing a ska band, so I'm like skanking on stage at like 39 weeks pregnant.
Oh my God.
It's so hard. And that's the thing. Like I mostly play with male musicians because that's what there is. And like, they're just like, come on, Jenny, like carry this amp. And it's like, fuck. Wow. I just wish there was somebody who could understand my struggle. That's why we need more women on stage. Well,
you're pregnant.
No. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Do what I can.
Damn.
But there's a lot of womanhood as well that is so wonderful. Like, I mean, becoming a mom and carrying life. And I don't believe that you have to give birth to be a mom, but there's just so much of that really connects you with your body, that connects you with the universe, that taps into this like universal river of all moms. That is that just feeling of power and sorrow and anxiety and fear
and strength too. Also,
and fatigue.
No sleep. Yeah, it's crazy how much sleep you don't have at first. Yeah, it's wild. Probably now because 7-month-old. Yeah.
I go on tour so I can get sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I can.
And what does your husband do?
He's a professional musician.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So he's traveling too.
He does a lot of gigs, but most of them are like around us. So
that's cool.
He actually, he's in the rockabilly scene. I met him when he was like an Elvis impersonator. Yeah, he was an Elvis impersonator at Disneyland. Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, and I just, he was playing in a rockabilly trio in Paris, and I walked into the bar and I hated rockabilly music. I didn't even want to go to that gig, and I was just like, oh man. But
oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, I had just gotten dumped, and it was like Christmas, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll just go because I don't want to be alone. And then I hear the voice of an angel, and it was like Frank Daly, and it was, oh my God, when you fall in love with the sound before a person, and then the person is 100% better than the sound.
Damn.
It's like, it's really cool.
Thank you very much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
If you don't mind, I would like to give a shout out to him on this podcast because he is a pillar of strength, and he's the reason that I can be here today.
Nice.
And he watches the kids while I go on tour, and
hell yeah,
he really believes in me.
So cool.
And I also say that a lot on stage, just because it's the people at home who make it possible for us to do what we can do outside of the home.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing because a lot of people say, that's so nice that you said it for your husband. And I'm like, did you ever say that about your wife?
Yeah.
It's like taken as a given that women do that invisible labor.
Dude.
So, yeah.
Of course. I wouldn't be anything without my wife. Married 30 years. Let me be a big kid, run around, play music, travel the world together.
It's facts.
She fucking holds me down. And there's so many... Because I just had a couple of my friends' wives on this podcast, and not out yet, but there's always like a really strong, badass woman behind every artist, musician, whatever, that's holding down with the kids or whatever, and just letting their husband go out there and be a big kid, because that's what we are. We're playing music, we're traveling, no responsibilities. I would come home and Moon would just hand me my son, here you go, change the diapers, you're back to reality. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's always a strong, badass fucking woman behind a lot of the musicians, man. I'm very, very lucky.
Oh, and Derek in the world, I was actually talking to my friend's kid the other day, and he was asking me, like, why are all of the scientists and politicians and like revolutionaries men? And it's like, because they didn't have to do their laundry or raise their kids. No, really, like.
That's true.
Wow.
But I just want to go on record. I've been married 30 years. My wife's done laundry one time because she's terrible. All the soap suds came out like I Love Lucy episode. I crushed the laundry. I pride myself on laundry. That's my number one thing. I may not be good at doing the floors, but I crush laundry anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I know what you're saying though, dude. But yeah, there was also one thing I forgot what it's called. It was a record. It's like something like hold my. There's always like this thing in the hardcore scene where like the boyfriend gives the girl his jacket to hold while he goes moshes.
Right.
But I forgot what it was. Something came out with a record or it's just like a fanzine where it's like, yo, a woman says, yo, hold my coat. I'm gonna go fucking mosh. I love that. You know what I mean? Because the girls are there to have fun too, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can speak about a lot because I know my wife is a badass and I know that she is, you know, she stands up for the women in the hardcore scene for years. So, but yeah, like you don't have a lot of people like that growing up where you grew up and being a girl, being a woman and being in that scene and fucking trying to find your tribe and being a skin in your fucking town. Do you know? It's
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And you stayed with it your whole life. You know what I'm saying? You didn't quit like, fuck, this isn't for me. None of that shit.
I think that when you love something, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, you really fell in love with it though.
Yeah,
absolutely. You got your guitar like a pawn shop when you were like 13 or something?
Yeah, I did. Well, you really did some research.
Come on, girl.
Yeah.
What inspired you to get a guitar? Like, what was your influence at that moment?
So basically, I was a drummer for a while.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
really
cool.
hard to be a drummer. I mean, like packing up all the gear, like, oh my God. In Canada, there's no clubs that provide backlines. So it was just like packing up all the gear.
They
and
don't?
then
Canada doesn't?
you have no glory. You're just like there in the back. And
No
it's
glory.
like, it's hard. And I was like, with the guitar, you could bring it everywhere and you can just put it on your back and, you know, you can come up with like tons of cool riffs. And those are like the things that stays in people's mind.
True.
So, and I was tired of playing piano.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was it. But
That was your first guitar.
yeah, I think that, you know, for example, when you find something that you really, really love and you fall in love with it,
For sure.
there are always like hard elements. Like for example, if it's a marriage or if it's a friendship or if it's a band or if it's a subculture, but you have that power inside of you to say like, what can I take from this and make it better?
Yeah. Was your stepfather a pianist too?
Yeah, he was. He was the guy who really inspired me to do music, and he was really big into like musical theater and stuff, which wasn't really my jam. But you know, I learned how to read music, and I learned how to play music, and I learned how to structure music, and like from him, I learned like verse, bridge, chorus.
That's cool. Do you have a subculture fanzine? Is that old?
Yeah, so I used to release a fanzine back in the day where there weren't like blogs or like, and it was an idea that I had to distribute it around Canada so that people could learn about new bands.
That's
and
awesome.
so that people could...
That's what we had to do.
learn about new albums and also share knowledge and create community. And it was really expensive. It was really expensive because...
Was there Kinko's back then there in Canada?
We don't have no Kinko's.
Okay,
it was
okay.
like just photocopying stuff at the library.
Sick.
But you just like, you know, saddle back, staple it, and just fold them. And like everybody just thinks because it's a pamphlet, it's free. So they don't like, you know, help you with the printing costs. And like, you know, a lot of times after the show, you find them all on the ground. And it's like, oh man, this sucks. But yeah.
That's what we had to do, the spread, to like get the message out, man.
And it was also a really
crazy.
cool way for me to like meet bands. Because,
Yeah.
you know, back in that day, if you were like a little shy or intimidated, there wasn't a reason for you to be like, oh, hey, could I just like ask you about the last album? You know what I mean? People don't make time to just sit down and talk. So it was a nice way for me to just say like, oh, I'm a reporter.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
How old were you when you had the fanzine? Were you young?
I was like late teens, early 20s. So
Fuck, man.
yeah, I did 7 or 9 editions. 2 of them were like limited because I didn't have a lot of money to print it. But yeah, I interviewed a lot of bands and I did
cool.
a lot of album reviews. Also got a lot of hate for that too because I was like, if you're gonna do a review, just be honest.
Right.
So you know.
So people were happy with some of the reviews, yeah.
But I was reviewing like a lot of bands around town,
Oh,
so
okay.
it was like, don't shit where you sleep.
We see you.
Were there any like peers or older punk cats in your town, your small town, that like?
Yeah. I mean.
Because it feels like you started your own shit in your town.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
basically like a lot of the skinheads at that time where I was growing up, like in the 2000s, they were older than me guys. They were like military or ex-military.
Oh, wow.
And there was like a lot of that vibe, like, you know, physical prowess and like violence and drinking and womanizing. And this idea of like being an alpha male, like that kind of toxic energy. So you know, I was like, obviously, when you try to fit into that, you're like picked on a lot. You're like always like the runt, or like you're always like, you know, the comical side character in somebody else's story.
Right.
And after a while, like, I wanted to play with them. I wanted to be in the bands. They're like, songs suck. This doesn't make any sense. This isn't Skinhead, This should be more violence. Do you have anything more about drinking beer and like pussy? And I was like, but that's not my life.
Yeah.
So
too many fucking rules, man.
Yeah.
There's so many rules in every part of these subcultures. Man.
I don't like these rules.
Man.
I'm not down with the rules.
Yeah, I wanted to write songs about like being the kid of an immigrant or like
that's
things
sick.
that are like actually about my life.
Yeah.
And so they just said, if you want to do that, do it by yourself. So that's what I did.
Wow.
These motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, and it's funny because now I run into them like in my hometown. You know what I mean? And it's that story of truth because you're like, you picked on me so bad, it's like so long, and like I was always
to make you tough.
Making all those like Chung Fong Wong jokes and like everything,
wow.
and like now here I am like coming back
Exactly.
to visit my mom after.
You made me fucking strong. I want to go for this even more though. People like that.
Yeah.
Prove them wrong, dude. Like
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. But
Damn.
it's like
Is your mom stoked on the music? What you're doing now?
No.
She seen you perform?
no.
Ever?
No, she don't like it. Yeah, no.
She's seen videos, of course.
Not really. Like I think I gave her a couple CDs, but every time I go home, they're like still in plastic. But she loves the music of my husband, so like,
Really?
yeah, because he's singing oldie goldies. So every time we go
It was
visit her,
Elvis, bro.
yeah,
Right. That's right.
she
So she never really seen your music. Wow.
she lives in like a retirement community, but like when we go there, she's always
She's
like,
very old school, set in her ways. She's just,
She's like, my son-in-law's a musician. And it's
Wow.
like, okay,
come on.
I know.
How old is she now?
She must be 76.
Is your pop still with us?
Yeah, he's turning 80. So
And where is he at?
he lives in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, basically living in one of the biggest Chinese diasporas in the world. So he always likes to say that he's like with his people, eating dim sum, going out, playing mahjong.
Yeah, you're a dim sum addict. It says on
Yes.
social media. You love it.
Oh, absolutely. Like dim sum is like a punk show. It's like you show up, you sit around the table. It's a circular table, so you can just spin it. You know
Well,
what I
I've
mean?
had that
Lazy
before.
Susan.
You ever have dim sum?
Yeah.
Do we have it as vegans? You can have it?
Of course.
Yeah, there's vegan dim sum.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Where'd you have
Let's
yours
go.
at? Where do we have it at?
God, I don't know. It's
Is there
been
a place
so many
in LA?
places. I'm sure. Absolutely.
What do you had it before? Like
It's
overseas
been
or
a
something?
while, man. It's been a minute.
And what is dim sum for the listeners? What's in it?
So there's a lot of different options. It's like
Can you make it? You make it?
you can if you have a lot of time
Okay.
and ingredients. But it's fundamentally like a kind of tapas. Like there's a lot of little tiny plates, and women come by, or men, but mostly women. They come by with little trays around the table, and they have like all of the one kind of dumpling on that cart.
Gotcha.
And so they say like, how many do you want? And you're like, I'll take 4. And then they put them on your table and they cut them with scissors, and then on that Lazy Susan, you whip it around, and everybody around the table grabs one of them if they want.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
Definitely.
tally it all up at the end, like how many dishes did you have? But the idea is you can sample a lot of like little yums,
And what's in it? What can we have? What's in it for us? Would we make
Whatever you want.
Yeah, vegetables and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's like a lot of vegan dim sum places in Vancouver, for example, because a lot of our community is Buddhist, so they don't eat meat at all. And, there's a lot of tofu wrapped,
Yeah.
I love that.
We'll go here in LA.
Yeah, I want to
I'll
go,
find
man.
the
She got me
spot.
psyched on because I read it. I was looking at her thing. And she's
It's
like, yeah.
delicious.
a lot of carbs. There's a lot of
A
carbs.
lot of carbs.
Are you sober?
Well, I do have the occasional White Claw, but we'll say
It's American classic.
yeah, American classic.
You still get White Claw in Canada?
Yeah, Canada. I don't even think about it.
I know. They were boycotting.
I think we have Vizzy now.
They're still boycotting White Claw. Where?
They were boycotting all the.
Yeah, you can't have like American alcohol in Canada at this
Daniels.
moment in time. So yeah,
man.
I think we're on to other hard seltzers.
It's because of our president.
The tariffs.
Yeah,
tariffs.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, so people are drinking maple wine and Vizzies and other Canadian seltzers.
Which are good.
Good for them.
Yeah, support you. Support. Yeah,
I love
local.
Canada. I
You
just
love
wish
it?
it was just warmer. I love it.
Yeah, I love
I've always
Toronto.
had
I love Montreal.
Fantastic experiences in Canada, all over.
I've been to Vancouver in a minute.
Each coast, all the way in the middle. I want to do more shows. In Canada.
Edmonton.
Yeah, I love it all.
Calgary.
That's where I'm from. I'm
Okay.
from Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So small town. Yeah, it's like 1 million people, but every punk scene feels small. So
Edmonton on my notes.
Yep.
See on my notes. Edmonton.
Yeah,
Edmonton's sick. We played there before. Yeah. I like to do a whole Canada run. We used to do
Canada runs are the best.
snowcore, jamcore, whatever, back in the 90s.
wow.
All Canada freezing with Pennywise or somebody.
Oh,
Guy Smiley.
Canada.
Love it.
So are you listening to new music? Do you check out other new Oi bands? There's a band called Skinhead too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like coming up right now.
Okay, yeah.
I listen to a lot of new music, and I think that is the most important thing you can do as a musician.
For sure.
Go see new bands. Go listen to new albums, because that's fresh and that's exciting, and that's passing it on, like supporting people who supported you, you know?
Yep. Absolutely.
And I make it a point now to really stand in front of the stage when there are women on it. So that's awesome. That's my mission.
Yeah. Do you have some new bands that we should look out for? Is there a lot of new bands in Canada?
There are. One new band that I saw this summer that blew me away. They're actually from the UK. Is Split Dogs.
Okay.
They're kind of doing yabo punk, like in the vein of Amyl and the Sniffers, but with a little bit more melody and just like that vicious, high intensity, high voltage energy. Incredible vocalist, incredible energy on stage. I loved it.
Okay.
And I loved it. I mean, it just blew me away. In Canada, there's a lot of really cool bands that are coming out.
Is there a good scene there now for like punk or everything hardcore? Is a good scene going there?
Now there's like a new kind of wave of hardcore that's coming out with like Béton Armé and Puffer and these kinds of bands that are like Skinhead adjacent, but they're like blowing it out of the water. Like they have a post-punk sound with a real hardcore intention, and they're taking the world by storm.
Wow.
And I'm really proud of them.
What about the Skinhead band from we used to play with them? They're from Buffalo.
A Violent Way?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're taking over the world right now.
They're fucking great. They're really great band,
okay.
man. Yeah,
right.
Great front man. Yeah.
And their drummer has a side project called Taker, and that's an incredible band too. Yeah. I had the honor of doing a little featuring on their last song. So
oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Are
Shout
there
out to
any
Violent Way.
classic Canadian bands that inspired you? That
well, the classic Canadian punks, DOA, SNFU, like
SNFU.
Chai Pig, rest in peace.
Yeah, he
one
was
of the greatest frontmen of all time, dude.
Greatest lyricist.
Yes,
I
so
know
sick.
every song. I think on like the 2 albums that are like.
There's a
in
second
my
one
head.
If You Swear You Catch Fish, right?
Yes.
The second one, bangers. Both those
I
bangers,
love it.
man.
That's a
still on my
soundtrack
playlist.
of my life. Yes,
It's
He was
still
so
on
good
my
live,
playlist.
man.
He's so good.
And
Also, DOA.
Big influence. Yes.
Not many people mention DOA, but like I know Ian MacKay talks about DOA all the time as one of the first great. Don't get enough props, to be honest.
Yes, and writing lyrics that are about important things like wearing condoms, wear a raincoat. Or give it a rest.
SNFU had a song about like Alzheimer's disease.
Yes.
And I was like, my grandmother has it. And I was like, I can relate to this.
Those are like very, very specific songs that speak truth. And so it's
very specific about record collection being destroyed by his father.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude.
So
Cannibal Cafe.
Great lyrics. Cannibal Cafe.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Shout out to SNFU, DOA. Who else from Canada? Some other classics from Canada.
Well, there's like
also,
Comeback Kid.
Shout out to Comeback Kid, my friends. Yeah,
they're great.
Killing it still. They always kill it, dude.
And also one of those bands like we were talking about earlier that just doesn't come from a principal city. They came from Winnipeg.
Okay, yeah.
And they are huge in the hardcore scene right now, and just
everywhere. Yeah,
it feels like to me like if a band can come from Winnipeg and make it that big, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
So
they killed everywhere. U.S., everywhere, Europe,
other
crush it. What about Guy Smiley? Remember them?
Yeah.
Are they from Canada, right?
Yeah.
I also love Voivod. They were very big.
They're from Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No.
Damn.
Man, I mean, they were at that time that I saw them. It was like they were the headliner, then Soundgarden, then Faith No More, and and everyone was really excited about Voivod. They were just like the top of their game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I feel happy about that.
Yeah, they're really incredible guys. Shout out to them. And
there were some other hardcore bands. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna fuck their names, Mr. Names, from out there, because there was. Isn't there one? I don't want to.
Of course,
say
Rush.
Yeah, classic. Celine Dion.
See?
Oh my God.
No, but you saw Rush who's playing drums.
A girl drummer in Rush.
Yeah,
that's
I
huge.
saw that.
She's
That's
sick.
huge.
I didn't even know about
the biggest level of like. First of all, I didn't think they would ever tour again because they were like, "Now we're done.
I want to see.
We're done."
I'm down to see
But the fact that they came in with that, it was like a shocker. Like, what?
The girl's from Germany.
Like,
She's from Germany.
I think that's so badass, and she's fucking.
I looked
incredible.
her up. She's sick.
She's
so.
Well, she must be. I mean, holy shit.
Exactly.
Can you imagine the stress of the audition? Like,
oh yeah, for that.
Hello, dude.
So they're coming to America next year or something.
Dude, their tour is just like they had a few dates, and then people were just, the demand was so strong that they added on.
How long have they been
keep
broken
adding
up
on.
for?
A while, man. It was intense.
So like 10-year broken up, you think? Or
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that long. It was because
Damn.
Neil Peart, he passed away.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
that
That's
was
right.
like, it's done. But
Damn.
he's like, one of the top drummers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for her to step in, for them to open it up like, hey, we just want an incredible drummer. It says a lot.
It says a lot.
Yeah.
And then,
Did you ever want to quit playing music?
Like, I guess there's different levels of volition. Like, there's like those moments where you're like, oh, I've had it. This is so hard.
Yeah.
And my God, is it worth it? Is it worth all the anguish and the sorrow and the strife? But I never wanted to. Like,
Yeah.
I think that even if I never played a show on stage again, I would just play in my room or play with
Yeah.
friends. We play a lot for our kids. I think that it's a
awesome.
language
That's
that's
awesome.
really important to connect with people. But yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of moments in my life, like, I don't know if you have this in the notes, but like at that time when there was like a lot of internet bullying, like, in the 2000s and stuff, it was like the Wild West on the internet because
Yeah.
Like the
there,
Bridge 9 board or something?
there wasn't like, there was like Troll Friend and stuff. They made all these songs like Jenny Wu has Down syndrome because of like the idea that I'm a Mongoloid.
What about you?
Yeah. Oh,
What?
yeah. Yeah, it was like viral and stuff, and like I was like in the video
What
with like
year-
yellow face and stuff. It was
Hang on.
really-
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa. Who was doing this?
It's a band called Troll Front, but they became very like viral in like the punk.
What
and
year are we
noise scene.
talking?
2013, 2014. Yeah.
Dude.
And when you're alone and you have a solo project and you're just like on your own and every single time you put a music video it's like all negative and you have like all these like memes about you and
Internet's
like
trash,
yeah.
man.
But I didn't have a lot of resources.
What prompted them
Because
to?
they're fucking haters,
to-
probably. I don't
I
fucking-
think that it's just easy target because you see somebody who's alone, so it's obviously easier to make fun of an individual than a band. And then you see somebody who's doing something like I was playing acoustic oi.
Right.
The genre was previously unlabeled or unheard of, but I did it because I didn't really have a lot of options.
Create your own lane.
Yeah, create your own thing.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of people, oi is aggressive, full power music. So bringing it down to an acoustic guitar is weak and it's stripped down and it's making it a hippie thing, which is the biggest insult in the skinhead scene, right?
I see.
And then, like obviously there are a lot of people who were on the right side of life. So being Asian and also being a woman, it was just like a magnet for that kind of stuff.
Did you ever see those guys in real life?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because like obviously there's the trolls that you never see and they're just
Right.
like keyboard warriors. But then you see people like they're bands. They're like I play with them. Like you
Nobody
just
say anything to your face?
yeah, of course.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
After that whole online shit, like you saw people from those comments?
I
Or
think that people get comfortable and they can just come up to you and just call you a name at a show and
Rock.
the fuck?
yeah. But I guess my dilemma is like I don't have a band. I don't have a lot of friends that are doing the same thing as me, who living the same thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't know one other woman who is solo as an ethnic minority doing this for 20 years alone. I don't know anybody else. And so you're living with this reservoir of feelings and you just carry on. And I don't like to diss people back or like respond to the comments
fuck
or
that.
I don't.
It's not worth your time.
Yeah, it's not worth my time, but it's also like, what am I going to say? Like,
Yeah.
nothing I can say is going to change what you have to say because
Yeah.
you're just already saturated in your own bias and hatred. Like, if I just put, yeah, you too, like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
the biggest response is just carrying on.
100%.
But-
Just avoid all that shit. It's not even worth your time, man.
Yeah. But, like, I
People are
mean,
miserable, negative fucks of all the time they want to talk
Yeah,
shit about
it's
a
like
stranger.
definitely don't
Fucking-
take in their energy.
I think
That negativity.
the difference between us, for example, guys, like when you play gigs, you don't see every single face in the audience and like, you probably don't even read your DMs and, like it's, people say stuff about whatever. It's just like, I have a whole crew and posse and a world around me. Like I have Epitaph, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're like a smaller
I hear you,
musician,
I hear you.
it's like you
Right.
looking in the face of every, I've played gigs
hear
and
you.
people sig heil at the back. And it's like, or people do like the China eyes where you're like playing and it's like, you got to just,
You ever get to punch anybody?
I've been punched.
Do you want to
I
snap on people? Like fucking, you probably want to snap sometimes physically.
think that there have been moments where I could speak truth.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of that stuff is documented, like with internet conversations or like screenshots and stuff like that. And that's stuff from like way back.
You gotta
like,
be careful, man. All that
the things you did to me 10 years ago, like I could easily bring back. Not you, obviously, Toby, but like, the
Toby, what's going on, man?
I just met her. Know about this, man.
But
I know what you're saying.
But like
though.
that kind of stuff. And so like that's
the
the real weapon, like speaking truth to power.
Yeah.
And some of it I'm still not ready to say because you internalize a lot of that as you go on, and it's so hard sometimes to confront people. And I think also the way that I was raised was just like stay quiet, work hard, and like be grateful. I
think you're a punk rock badass, man.
I don't know.
The fact that you came to my fucking house, we just met for the first time, and you like, I think you're a strong, smart, fucking badass woman. And I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Toby.
Because you are a punk in your own way, like beyond what the fucking so-called punk is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like all the rules, all the shit you had to navigate to get where you are to be in this kitchen right now, right?
Yeah.
And just writing the songs and do what you love, and now you're a mom and you're still doing this shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like fuck everybody, to be honest, dude. It's like you just kept going because you do love what you do and you're authentic and you write about things you want to sing about, and you're not trying to fit in a box, but you still love the skinhead culture and respect it and represent it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I agree with everything except for the fuck everybody, because you know what, like
fuck the people that don't know you personally. Fuck the strangers who hate on you.
But also, I will say one thing: being hated is much better than being ignored.
True.
Because a lot of the times when I got the memes, or like, when the whole
Skinternet
was like mad.
What's it called? Skinternet?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that anger comes from a place. Like, where did I offend you? Where did I offend you just from playing music?
But that's them looking at themselves, their own insecurities.
Yeah, and that's so cool because that's an element of change.
That's true.
And so I'm so thankful for that.
You woke some people up.
Because that is a conversation. And that's what we're talking about now.
And at least they're talking about you, whether they hate you or they love you. You're still in their mind. They're still looking at your music. They're still checking you out. They're trying to figure you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are thinking and talking about you. I agree with that.
So I'm grateful that they express themselves so that I can express myself.
I'm just saying fuck the people that hurt your feelings and made you feel like you weren't worthy enough to be part of this whole fucking movement or this culture. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Thank you, Toby. I appreciate that.
That's what I mean.
And I still struggle with it sometimes, but I will say one thing. Turning 40, becoming a mom, turning that new page in my life, one life, one chance.
That's right, girl. That's right.
No one said life was easy.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not afraid to try.
I love that. Yeah, you're 40, you're a mom. Your fucking family.
Turning 40, right?
No, I'm already there. Okay. Yeah, in 1985.
But yeah, you're a grown ass woman, you're a badass, you're married, you have kids, you're fucking nothing to prove to anybody. You still trying to prove shit to yourself at this point or no? That you could still make music and people listen, or you just do your shit and fuck it, who cares? Just gonna play music.
I think
you have crazy expectations.
I think that a large part of my drive is something to prove. I'm not sure if that's the way I was raised as a kid, like, always trying to meet expectations, but now the expectations aren't external. They come from me. And there are still so many horizons I want to hit, and still so many places I want to see, and so many people I want to meet, and I want to be the best that I can for my kids.
Of course, yeah.
Right on.
You've been to a lot of places too. You've been places I never been. I've been in 30 years. Like the place you play is crazy. You've been around a lot, going to spots, man.
Yeah.
There's been some really crazy shows because, like, I seen that H2O played Indonesia and stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just incredible to see so many kids that love the music, and they're there in like flip flops and like, enormous agnostic front t-shirts, and they like print them all at home, and it's like, but like I played some like really weird shows too, like, in Myanmar and stuff, where like it was like illegal to have concerts. So like kids would just like bushwhack in the forest and connect a PA to their car, and you just play there in the jungle. It's like
so DIY.
Flash Oi show. Hello.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I'm so grateful for all those experiences.
Yeah, look where music brought you. Look where it took you.
To your kitchen.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the world too.
Those are the most memorable, I think. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've definitely seen a lot of things that I never would have seen if I didn't pick up that Punkorama compilation. So I thank you.
Thank you. Damn, that's a powerful compilation. Fuck.
Yeah. It had a huge impact.
Damn. What's like the latest obsession you have right now? Do you have any obsessions?
With like anything in the world?
Yep.
All right. So this sounds really gross, okay? But so It's a true story.
Let's go.
And unfortunately, like I kind of have to end it here because I got to get to the airport. But I'll leave you on the story. So this intersects everything: mom, musician, everything. I recently started having extreme pain in my ears, and it was deafening to the point that I would have like chronic headaches, and it was really hard. Went to see some doctors, took a lot of antibiotics. It was not going away. So I went to go see a specialist, an audiologist, and she looked inside my ears and she said, "Oh my God, this is terrible. You are a victim of Baby Shark." And too many baby sharks. No, I'm joking. It's the worst toddler song.
Wait, Baby Shark is a TV show, right?
No, it's the most annoying song. If you got a small kid, you know it. You know.
Okay.
No, she said, you've been putting like so many of those earplugs in her ears that you've built up like an extreme amount of wax. And I was
Let her finish it, then we'll go.
No way. And she's like, your hearing is actually reduced by like 58%. And I was like, no way. And I was like, doctor, what can we do about the situation? And she's like, sprayed the inside of my ear with a jet of water.
Good.
Toby, oh my God.
It was like, water in your ear,
warm water. It was like an ear enema.
It's like an ear orgasm. Sorry, it's fucking
she
wild.
had this cup and the like wax sprayed into the cup, and it was just like the most insane release. After that, I was hearing things in full volume. I felt like I was a new woman. This happened like a fortnight ago, so I'm still buzzing on it. And ever since then, I've just been watching YouTube videos of earwax removal. That's it.
Oh, you're obsessed with it. Okay, go.
Yeah. You go. Your turn.
I had that done too, but go.
I completely thought I was losing my mind, but I'm obsessed with watching these videos too.
Yes.
I told you.
I knew I wasn't alone, right?
I've had it done before too.
I told you a few weeks ago that I got this kit I saw online. With the video that you can see going, and I was like, I have to get this.
I saw that on Amazon too, and
so
I was like,
I got it, and it works. It's amazing footage. I was like, this footage is legit. I'm obsessed with seeing these videos where they're like, oh, and it's usually coming from like it's China or somewhere where they're like digging through and the guy, and then they finally like get it out, and I'm like, oh, the release.
Yes. Oh my God.
It feels so amazing.
Incredibly gratifying. So satisfying and so simple.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh yeah, there's just some
I
of those,
love
it's like a win in life. That's a win.
Have you done it before? Because I go to a Minute Clinic at CVS, and they do your ear for like $40.
I mean, I was doing it myself.
Did you use that new camera in your ear and stuff, or no?
Yes.
It's scary?
No, it was just like I want somebody to do it for me so I can see it. I'm like, go left, go right.
Holy shit!
I honestly, I feel so much better because I knew that there weren't like 6 million hits on these YouTube videos for no reason. I knew I wasn't alone, but you're the first person that I've met face to face who shares my passion.
Disgusting. At the same time, I'm fascinated.
Thank you. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I will.
It's like that doctor. What's that one show they do like all the surgeries?
I'm not really saying much.
Dr. Lee Pimple Popper.
Yeah.
That's that's my jam.
I can't watch.
So you like some gross like
I can't watch
like surgeries and
shit.
No, I don't go into like cysts. Like I don't go into like blood stuff. I mean blackheads. You know,
the pimple popper shit's crazy.
I can't watch it. That I can't for some reason.
Just liberating the pores. It's something so few of us understand.
But the
earwax shit is
incredible. My God, that's incredible.
Did you ever have it done with the warm water in your ear?
Yeah,
and it goes into the cup.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They used to be able to get a kid and they come with the squeegee, and I do it on tour because the buildup is there because it's protecting your ear, the wax from the sound.
It is protecting you.
But then I was like, it gets to a point where it's like unbalanced and so annoying, and I was like, I gotta get this out.
What made you
spraying it? Yeah.
What made you go to get looked at? You felt something weird?
Well, yeah, it was just like I couldn't hear people correctly.
Right.
I felt like I was always off balance. I was kind of always like walking into a wall.
Yep.
And then there was like the pressure inside my ear, like a little bit of tingling.
You had it for a long time?
Like at least 6 weeks.
Okay.
And
getting bad. 6 months.
Yeah, getting bad. And, you know, I exploded one day. And, you know, I mean, in Canada, we have public health care, and I 100% support that. But the extremity of the situation required me to go to a clinic and just dish out for it, and it was the best $50 I ever spent in my life.
I kind of want to go do it now.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it this weekend just to see if I have it.
Let me get my camera going. Dude. I can tell you right away.
Okay, you have a flight to catch, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
real quick. Let's get one more question. Optimist or pessimist?
Optimist.
Fuck yeah, always been like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that unless you see an opportunity, you're never going to get it.
I love it.
Okay.
Because you always believed in yourself too, and nobody did throughout your whole life, which just happened at PMA.
Yeah, PMA in my DNA.
That's what I'm saying.
right.
I like that.
Hey.
Any regrets in your life?
Absolutely. Any regrets that I've ever had have always stemmed from failures of kindness.
Wow. That's really
Fucking great answer.
You said a
man.
few things here. I'm just like,
Yeah, she's very smart.
wow.
Very
Like I
smart
really
human right
gonna take away from this. Like
Thank
it was
you.
really, really powerful. Especially the
man.
one about the haters. You know, you're
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to.
I like that too.
That
She's taught me-
really,
that opened my mind too, to be honest.
like, yeah, it really put a spark in me. It's like, wow, that's a really good way of looking at it.
That's a positive attitude
Yeah.
towards the haters.
Yes.
What about daily rituals? What's some daily rituals? You're gonna
Wow.
make. What time's your flight?
4:30.
You got that shit. Okay,
Yeah.
we got daily rituals.
Daily rituals. Well, a lot of it's changed since being a mom. Like, I don't have a lot of time for personal hygiene and stuff, which is how the earwax happened and all that. Just personal degradation and
I
whatnot.
feel like we're just getting warmed
Right,
up here
right.
with the earwax shit.
Yeah.
But every daily rituals, I put in my contact lenses. I open my eyes, put in my contact lenses,
Is it good?
and
Coffee?
sometimes if I have time, but a lot of times not.
Damn.
I think that the only daily ritual I have is breathing,
Damn.
and that's it. Every day's a new
Respect.
adventure.
Yeah. What about social media? Spend a lot of time on there.
No, I have a 20-minute timer on my phone, so
That's what's up.
Wow.
I don't.
Damn, me and Derek need that shit.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
20 minutes.
So I get 20 minutes a day, but so I don't doom scroll and I don't
Good for
do all
you.
that. I
Damn.
think that social media is like a tool. Like it can it's like fire. You can use it to warm your home, cook some food, survive, or you can use it to burn and destroy.
Yeah, she got a lot of gems today,
Yeah,
man.
a
She
lot
got
of-
a lot of gems today.
That's
dude.
why with my social media, I want to share like true stories of my life. Like I don't want to edit a lot of photos. I don't want to create perfect captions. It's like, this is me and my kids, me being a mom. This is me living my life. And I just write positive comments under things I open up my page to,
Yeah.
but I don't go looking for it. And I certainly don't spend my time trolling people.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No,
So,
man. People, that's a crazy life.
The
in
gym,
itself.
the gym that I got was like, I'd rather be hated than ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
that's pretty sick.
that's pretty awesome.
Being invisible is the worst
Also-
place to be.
But being hated online, loved
But the
and
fact
loved
that-
in real life is great too.
But it's great because you brought it back to, it brings up those uncomfortable conversations that need to be happen, that need to happen.
Listen, you know what? Honestly, I've been so loved in so many ways. Like, go to Indonesia and people are like, here's my mom and here's like
dope.
a towel. You can have a bath in my public pond, and it's like so cool. And it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I have so many band t-shirts. I have like 600 band t-shirts that I got for free because people are like, this is
Same
my
with-
band.
yeah.
That's so cool. I love it. You get that hate too. You get like, I got like a lot of memes about me that were kind of like, oh man, that's mean.
Right.
Or, you get like a lot of those
Will you read stuff about you, like negative stuff about you? You read it?
I think the thing is people tag me in that, and like I just you open your phone and you see it, but I would way rather have that on me than on my kids or anybody else.
Yeah,
so
for
if that
sure.
makes an uncomfortable conversation
Yeah.
and people start talking about like, what is racism? What is anti-Asian racism?
Yeah.
How do we have this conversation? What is neutral? What is normal? What is a Eurocentric beauty standard? And what are double standards in general? Like
Totally.
if I can be the point of that conversation, I will take it 10,000 times.
Yeah, I love
because
that.
I can do it. And I would way rather that I do it than somebody else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I feel like I want to hang out with you all day now. You have any top 5 like artists or bands you love?
Yeah, absolutely.
What you got, girl?
So
Here we go.
number one, I would say The Clash, just because
Yeah.
they were the first introduction to me of like making interdisciplinary musical sound, building a lot of Caribbean music into punk rock, and then you have like jams like Train in Vain that just break open so many walls, and for me that was it.
Yeah.
I love The Clash. That's what got me into punk as I know it.
Hell yeah.
I absolutely love The Business, which is my favorite oi band.
Yes.
Welcome to the Real World changed my life.
Rest in peace, Mickey Fitz.
Exactly.
Man. Great band.
I met him a couple times, and I was so
Legends.
flabbergasted because he came to me, and I was like, whoa. And the last thing he said to me was, never stop. So
It's dope.
that was really cool. Everything that they did was great, and I think that they're also a band that has very precise songs about credit card debt, and it's like, damn, that's relatable. You know what I mean? So thank you.
I also think I don't say they're underrated, but they should get more props due than they get. I think.
Yeah.
Business.
Absolutely.
Sure.
They hardcore hooligan and stuff that changed so many people's lives and inspired a lot of people.
Yeah.
Another one I would say like on the top 5 is Vice Squad, Becky Bondage. She was always a strong female punk rocker, and just her imagery and like the sensuality of like what she was able to bring to stage with the bondage belts and the billet belts and stuff. That was power to me, seeing with her like Stand Tall, Stand Proud. It was just anthemic. I love it.
This is a great top 5.
Yeah.
You got 2 more. What do you got?
I would have to say Rancid on it, because they were like like my origin story. Like I would not have like known anything if I wasn't
like
tuned into
almost.
CKUA radio and listened to Ruby Soho for the very first time.
Damn.
And then my last top 5, I will say The Unknown, because the best is always yet to come.
The Unknown.
Yeah. Who's ever coming next?
Oh, that's nice. Because your top 5 can change throughout your life. Yeah,
exactly. So I want to keep one open space.
Nice.
You like hip hop too?
I do. I love hip hop. And I've done a lot of really bad stuff. One of them was like dabbling in hip hop, and
hang on a second. You were rhyming?
I was doing a lot of rapping on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
Can we find these recordings?
Yeah. It's on my YouTube channel.
Did you have an MC name?
MCW. I don't know. I didn't have one. I was just trying to do new stuff. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of boom bap tracks, and I was just doing like. I'm
so glad I asked you this question.
Yeah, and I got a lot of like, that was during confinement, so we were all trying to do new stuff. A lot of people
during the pandemic. You mean?
Yeah, okay. People were mad, and so I got like online rap battled and stuff, and I was like, damn, yeah, I know. That's the Skinhead.
Did you rap battle?
I sure did. Wow. I rap battled for my life.
I need to see these videos.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Oh, we're going straight to YouTube.
But yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing, and I'm not proud of it. But I'm happy that I tried something new, and I refuse to take the videos down, even though 99% of the comments are negative, because I want people just to know it's okay to publicly fail.
Yeah,
you're fucking dope.
Absolutely,
dude.
I love it. Yes.
What are some of your rap influences you had?
I would say definitely NWA. Just because like. That is exactly the kind of attitude that is the grain of punk rock.
I agree, man. I agree.
That is existence and resistance. And a lot of that anger that comes from being treated like nothing in society, and then taking the power back through nothing but the original grain of your creativity and talent. That 100%. And also Beastie Boys. They used to be skinheads.
Fuck yeah. They were fucking punk rockers, man.
Yeah. They were skinheads, man. I saw those images, so you can't take it back.
So Beasties and NWA.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah.
No Canadian rappers?
Tribe Called Quest, like all that. It's just like awesome.
Yeah.
No Canadian rappers?
Well.
Canadian rappers.
This Drake.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch him when I was a kid. He was on like Degrassi Jr.
Exactly.
That's what I know.
He was like that guy in the wheelchair.
That's the Drake I
from
know.
Toronto, really? Before Drake, really? Or?
Like there was like snow.
Oh,
10 inches of snow.
Sorry, Joe. I just like blasted this microphone.
And Maestro, like a lot of those kinds of guys. But yeah, I wouldn't really say they're in like my CD collection now.
Damn, no disrespect to Canada, but damn,
but that
Snow
song was hit.
You got Snow and Drake.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I need to see you rap. I'm so happy I asked you about that.
Yeah.
So those like your top Tribe, Beastie Boys, NWA. That's cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you, like, if we ever do this again, I'll try to do some freestyle.
We're doing this again.
Oh, my God.
We're going to do a part 2 with you, man. This is really fucking great. I'm so happy I responded to you. I'm so happy we made this happen. We've been talking for a couple months through emails and stuff, and you're in my fucking kitchen. You made it happen, dude. You just reached out to me. There was so many people reaching out. I don't even know why I got yours, because I have fucking so many emails about women on my pod. I'm so happy you're the one who came here.
Well,
I learned a lot today.
Thank you. Me too. And Toby, if I can just mention one thing before we sign off. What I really love about One Life, One Chance podcast is that you are so positive in bringing up everybody around you. I've never heard you say a negative thing about a band or a person, and you always consistently say how proud and thrilled you are when bands rise. And that's exactly what you're doing with me today and with all women, like by including our voices in what you do, by reaching out to people that you don't know, like me on DMs, and just letting me have a chance to share my story. You're
making me emotional, dude.
No, but that's truly what punk is. That idea where DIY, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And, I grew up listening to your music, and it was so far away. Imagining Los Angeles, it was so far. I never thought I would come here in the city. I never thought that I would ever see your band on stage. I came from nothing. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
And just to believe that one day just from writing a couple songs and putting my music out there on MySpace and carrying on with it, that we would have a chance to connect. That really shows me that grassroots works.
Absolutely.
And that people like you, who are those who help others rise, continue to do so. That's what it's all about. And I really hope that in my own humble way, I can do that for people in the future, passing it on.
Damn, it's killed me right now.
Hell yeah,
it made me emotional. Well, thank you, and I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And that's how I came up with other people pulling me up, other bands taking me on tour and looking out for me. And that's what this whole thing's about, bringing people together, you know? So you can tell their story. You're going to inspire a lot of people with your story here today, you know?
Well,
for sure.
That's what I never understood about hatred or racism or sexism or gatekeeping, because success, happiness, community, and love is never finite. There's never a world where because you have more, I have less.
Yeah.
It only grows.
So true. You should speak at schools or something, man.
Yeah.
She should be like a fucking public speaker, man. You ever done that?
No.
Dude, you're so smart, and you have so many, I don't know, you're just well-rounded, and I don't know, world traveled, and just everything you talk about, and it feels like you really get the part that we loved about punk and hardcore that attracted us to it. These ethos and I don't know, ethics and all this shit. Like you really fucking you gravitated towards that, and you live that. It's beautiful, because a lot of people come into the scene and they don't really get what's going on. They don't really listen to the lyrics. They don't really understand it's a community, it's a movement, it's for life. It's a spirit you keep inside of you, and you really took that and live it. It's beautiful. You really listened. Do you know what I'm saying? You got the message.
I think that's what music's for.
100%. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This has been great. I'm so happy to have you in my kitchen. I'm honored to have you here. I'm psyched to see what you do next. People can DM you. You check your DMs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And reach out to you and check out your music. And anything else, Derek?
No, I'm just really happy
Learned
that
a lot today,
you
man.
invited me, and I got to meet you.
You're my first
really
person from the
amazing.
Skinhead culture world ever on my podcast.
Oh,
well, that's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
400 people.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm really honored to do so, and also from where I come from, and also from just joining along the Skinhead tradition somewhere in the middle. It's truly an honor to be that voice, and I just want to say that I'm not the only voice and I'm not the last voice, so I'm looking forward to what other people have to say, and I will truly always be a listener and a fan. So
appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Jenny Wu.
Yeah.
Derek Green, thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Anything? I gotta learn French. I gotta check out my 23andMe for sure.
Ça fait tellement plaisir. Merci beaucoup.
The
pleasure is mine.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. This is fantastic. Bye. Gotta give a big shout out to Liquid Death. I've been in a band called H2O for 30 years, and my first real job with a company is a water brand. Go figure. Love you, Liquid Death. Love the people. Love the brand. Love the concept. Love what they give back. Love the community. Love what they do for the environment. You can go liquiddeath.com/OLLC and get free shipping on any of their merchandise that they make. They have such incredible collabs. Also, if you want to hear the story of the CEO, my good friend Mike Cesario, on the podcast, you can go to episode 115, part 1. And then 2 years later, we dropped a part 2, which is episode 275 with the CEO, Mike Cesario. Just a man from Delaware with a dream, worked at a marketing company, and made this become a reality. Liquid Death is an incredible company, incredible water, incredible people, and I'm super, super honored to be part of them. They sponsor my life. They sponsor everything, my family. So go liquiddeath.com/OLLC and get free shipping on anything you want to buy on that site. If you want to get water, it's exclusively on Amazon.com. Murder your thirst, y'all. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos, I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swipe the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. and it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life, One Chance podcast is now with Removery. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Removery has 155 locations and 1.8 million treatments. US, Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art peak-away laser technology, cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to this podcast, talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Definitely check out One Life, One Chance podcast, episode 281. I have Carmen Brody, Mike McTurnan, and Dustin Ortle from Removery. And this is over a 2-hour conversation. People had submitted questions. It's an incredible conversation breaking down the do's, the don'ts, the fears, process, the results, everything you could imagine about getting a tattoo removed. It's all in this podcast. It's an incredible episode. I appreciate them all coming out for it. So check that out if you want to learn more about Removery and what it's like to get a tattoo removed. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out. I have a lot of friends who are sober, a lot of friends who are straight edge, a lot of my friends who are going through it. I know struggling with substance abuse and alcoholism can be really, really hard, especially knowing who to turn to. It can be really, really daunting. I'm here to say that a good friend of mine and his friend started this incredible treatment center called Refine Recovery. They gave me a phone number, 855-516-3332. You can text, you can call them. It's totally confidential. It's safe. There'll be somebody on the other line to help you out, a compassionate human being to talk to. They help you navigate the process, the insurance treatments. They accept most of private insurances. You can go refinerecovery.com, Refine Recovery Instagram. I know it's hard, but reach out to somebody, man. People care about you. People love you. People want you to be here for a long time. People love you in their lives. If you're going through it, make this phone call. It's totally private. I know people DM me all the time about going through it and going through sobriety and trying to get straight and trying to take care of themselves, and the struggle is totally real. And Refine Recovery is the definitely move. Reach out to them, 855-516-3332, or text them, 855-516-3332. You can call or text this number anytime, 855-516-3332. You know the drill. This number is here for you to call.